Mr. Chairman. Ms. Nelson, I just want to kind of draw a big, bold line into this. The other day when I took a late flight home, 9 o'clock, I landed. Actually, I landed before 9. The 8-hour rest period. Last passenger gets off, flight attendant steps off the plane, the 8 hour starts, bang. Flight attendant has to walk out to the sidewalk, just like me, get a ride, usually from a van, to a hotel. I'm going home, they're going to a hotel. Check into the hotel, grab something to eat, and go to sleep. So let's just assume, for the sake of discussion, that the flight, that the 8 hours starts at 9 p.m. Let's assume they're asleep by 11 p.m., which of course nobody I know that works a 9 to 5 job is asleep at 7 p.m., but let's just assume it for the sake of discussion. In order to get back to work by 5 a.m., which is the 8-hour period, you have to do the same thing in reverse. Have to wake up, grab a shower, check out of the hotel, have a little something to eat, grab a ride back to the airport, get off that shuttle, walk through security, and walk down, and the 8 hours starts the minute you step on that plane. That means that's left you with, now again, that presumes you've had 2 hours from the end of your shift to the time you're actually asleep. If you have, takes you 2 hours to do that, it takes you 2 hours in the morning, that leaves you 4 hours to sleep. Now, as I understand it, pilots have 6. You have 4. How many flight attendants were lost on 9/11?
25.
How many flight attendants were on the flight with Sully Sullenberger when he landed in the Hudson?
3.
Did they do their job?
They did their job perfectly.
And their job was a little bit more than serving drinks and picking up after my trash. It was saving my life.
That's correct.
I only do this, I know you know all these answers, and I know the people at the panel, and I know the people here know it, but I do it to make sure that people understand, to the best of my ability, the flight attendants are a lot more important than what we see on a regular basis. I don't want to see a flight attendant in an emergency situation. And when they ask me, when I'm sitting in the emergency room, if I'm willing to help, they says, you really don't want me opening that door, that's a problem. And I want a flight attendant there who's trained on how to help me. So I actually don't think you're asking for much. I think you're asking for ridiculously little, and I hope that Congress can do what is long overdue to get this done. Mr. Tilden, I'd like to shift gears a little bit. I'm a big supporter of Next Gen. I totally agree with everything you said about trying to catch up in technology and trying to make things efficient. But does Next Gen alone require a specific flight path to make it work?
No, I think Next Gen's about
it allows
using
more options.
A lot of different technologies to shorten the travel.
As an executive of a growing airline, do you ever concern yourself with the noise of the people who live under these flight paths?
Yes.
I figured you would. You should. And I believe that.
Yeah.
So therefore, there's nothing that you know about in Next Gen that would prohibit the FAA and my NATCA people from changing the flight paths to spread whatever noise is there. Noise is noise. I get it. But there's no need to have a flight path continuously going over one house and only one house. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, I think it's a fair statement.
The reason I ask, because many of us have had some trouble. The FAA has finally acquiesced to try to take a look at it. I think we can have modern next-gen equipment,
Yeah.
saving you some money, saving me some time, and still concern ourselves with the quality of life of people who live under flight paths.
I agree with you, sir.
Thank you. That's really all I want to say. Mr. Childs, would you agree with that?
I'd agree with that, yes.
And Mr. Heddy, would you agree with that?
I'd agree with that.
I'm not going to ask you two guys because you don't know the airlines. If you did, though, I know you would. I guess I'm just going to use the last 30 seconds I have to also add my voice to the Norwegian thing. The Norwegian thing is horrendous. And it is an absolutely wrong decision, and it is heading in a direction exactly as you described, Ms. Nelson. It's jeopardizing American jobs. Mr. Tilden, you will not be able to compete if this goes undone. But I also want to add one more thing. Mr. Tilden, what's your largest airport that you service?
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. If I started an airline tomorrow and I wanted to fly to LA, And California said, you know something, Mike? We're going to give you, your new airline, $4 billion to be able to fly into LA, so you don't have to pay quite so much landing fee. You think that would be fair?
No, and to be fair, I wasn't asked, but Alaska actually has not taken a position on the Norwegian Air International.
I'm not asking you to take a position.
yeah.
I'm just kind of using it to, like,
No,
not gonna make you
I said it earlier, but just to be really clear, as a little airline ourselves, we're 6%, 5.5 or 6% of the industry now with Virgin America. At every opportunity, we want to make the case that we want a level playing field. And the simple point I made with the Gulf Coast Airlines is that we're competing against airlines that can go into companies and say, we're a one-stop shop. We can sell you tickets all over the world. Alaska can't. And in a network business, we need to build partnerships with others to have
and that's
any
why
shot
I'm not
at
asking you to knock your partners.
Got it.
That would be wrong.
Gotcha.
But fair is fair.
Right.
And fair is a level playing field.
Yep.
The government not paying me
Yep.
to do what somebody else already does.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you, Mr. Tilden. Mr. Chairman, looks like I'm over. You're getting kind of lax.
You're always over.
I yield back the
Just for
remainder
the-
of the time I don't have.
Just for the record, you're always over. Mr. Webster.